Good evening. Welcome to another episode of the Black Super Friends. I'm your host, The Horace Towns, joined by my illustrious cast that I call my best friends, the Black Super Friends. Starting at the bottom, I want to go live to Bob Marley's nephew, the ladies' man.
Boop, 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 boop.
Bless up, brethren.
Then I'm going to go up top like Hollywood Squares to the man they call Super Mario Sr. Please say the senior.
How y'all doing? Love, peace, and soul.
All right. And last but not least, I'm going to the man that just came out of surgery, who's been making an impact on the community. I think he's the best impactful nonprofit there is going right now. He's changing lives every day, and I salute him. The Date Doctor.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, my brothers. It's a pleasure to be here.
I want to give a shout out to Jeffrey Leday, who's joined us from Code Red, and Epiphany Lee, who has joined us from Black Ass Conversations. Thank you for joining us. Please hit the share button, guys. Hey, guys, I want to get into this episode. I'm trying to be more extensive and more elaborate. But before we start, even before we go to the producers, we've had a cast member that's been living so savagely. And this week, the success of the Black Super Friends podcast has brought him to a life of luxury. We want to welcome the ladies' man who has finally joined Team iPhone. Welcome to the Apple family, my brother.
It's a secret society. All we ask is trust.
Hey, listen, I still got my Android because I ain't all the way sold yet, but so far so good. We working on it. Baby steps.
I done told a lot of people, sometimes people don't want better, but better is out there, and it's a life-changing experience. I just want to tell you that, Xavier.
Wow.
Yeah, you can't come over. It's inevitable.
Yeah. Okay.
You either have an iPhone or you don't.
You don't. Don't even say you got a phone if you don't have an iPhone. Jeez Louise.
Goddamn.
Might as well have a flip. Shout out to Apple, who's changing lives. iPhone 12 will be available next week. Apple, we enjoyed the endorsement. iPhone 12 is coming to the crew.
Word, Bob.
Okay, everybody, y'all getting iPhones, but okay, thanks, Apple. The commercial this week, our sponsor is out of Fort Pierce, Florida. The sponsor this week is Huey Subs, home of the famous meatball sub. When you want a sandwich, come eat this 9-inch. Huey
Huey, you something else, boy.
He's a nasty one.
Hey, man, listen. Them 12s be a lot. Wait a minute. That shouldn't have came out.
Whoa.
That should have came out of my mouth anyway. Man, just going down a bad hill today. Jeez Louise.
Where's this show?
Good grief, man. Listen. Let me get my marbles together because I'm really looking bad right now. All right. Oh, okay, guys. Let's go into the show real quick. We got a lot of guests. We got a lot of people tuned in. I want to go fast because the meat and potatoes this week is going to be impactful, and I look forward to the viewer participation. But I'm going to start off light and go in first gear. I'm going to go to Zay first, the ladies' man. What's one of the first things you should do when you're dating someone new?
I'm going to say you need to have a conversation, whether that be a date where you sit down and you guys discuss what you're actually doing over some food or getting to know that person, but you need to set some ground rules as far as who you are as a person, where you are right now and what you're trying to do at this very moment that you guys can come back and revisit if you guys make it to that next level in dating. But off the rip, conversation, set the tone, and get to understand if you even somewhat are interested more than just physically into the individual that you are just not getting free. What you got to say, my brother Chris?
Well, for me, this is a date doctor moment. If you're dating someone new, you got to start looking at dating someone new like, what I say is people make a mistake of when they start dating someone new, they think of it as moving to another place. But they pack up all their stuff, they organize it, they put it in the U-Haul, bring it to the other place. unpack it and then make a new place for that stuff. Well, I think you should look at dating someone new more as a eviction, where you didn't pay your rent and they just threw your stuff on the curb. In that situation, you take what you need and only what you need to the next relationship. What I mean by that, you only need respect in the next relationship. You need appreciation in the next relationship. You don't need those weeks of bad times. You don't need that arguing. You don't need that fussing. So you leave that on the side of the road. That's what you got evicted for all that fussing and all that bad times and all that unappreciation. Leave that on the side of the road. What you want to do is take the things that you need into the next relationship and build and start from there and build this relationship from scratch. That's what I got. Tuli, what you think?
Well, I'm gonna keep it simple. In this day and era, and I'm not gonna say the city girl era, the first thing you should do is ask for some baby pictures. Find out. You shouldn't have to say this. Hey, were you a girl in kindergarten? Never happened to me. I'm just saying that's the kind of stuff you should ask each other, right? Second of all, you should listen but observe. Even though what they're telling you, look to see if some of that stuff line up, because a lot of people use car sales. But when we dating, listen, everybody's gonna tell you how great they are. They ain't gonna tell you the behind the scenes. So that girl that's pretty head to toe might be in a lot of debt, or she might not be able to make any income. She might not be an asset or liability, whatever you said before, date doctor. Yes. So I keep it short. Mario.
Well, I think you should take a better you. So for whatever intensive purposes, whatever, like Chris said, cause your last dating escapade or marriage or entanglement or whatever you had that you're actually removing yourself from, or it actually removed you from it, I think you should take a better you. And I mean a better you, but I mean an understanding of what went wrong last, whether it was your fault or not, so you don't make the same mistakes or have the same hiccup in the next relationship. So I think long as you being a better you, as I hope and wish that we all doing daily in our next relationship, and don't bring excess baggage, as y'all guys have mentioned too, then I think you should be okay, because all we're doing is just growing. And it's not a loss, it's just a lesson. But if you don't learn the lesson, you're destined to repeat it. So long as you just keep a better you and going on and on and on, by the time you get a couple relationships down the road, you should be ready and right.
Well versed. Okay.
So, and it's a good question to the viewers and especially the ladies. So, what are 3 essential things you should look for? Date doctor.
Okay, the 3 essential things. First, I would suggest emotional intelligence, because when you dating someone new and you're trying to find out things about them, there's going to be some tough conversations that you got to have. And sometimes those tough conversations in the beginning can turn into interrogations and not conversations. Well, she's just waiting for you to say something wrong to try to ask you out. And right. You walking on eggshells, trying not to say nothing wrong. And I don't think that a man should operate like that. We got to be able to tell, the truth. You know what I'm saying? We got to have these tough conversations. And I think I see men lying way too much to women. And I think that is simply because you're scared. You're scared of what she's going to say. You're scared of her might leave, but you can't lead from a position of fear. You have to be fearless in this. Because if you can't stand up to her, you will never stand up for her. You got to be able to lead the whole family. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm not telling you, hear me out. I'm not telling you to tell the truth because of some kind of moral high standard I have. I'm telling you to tell the truth because you're not scared to tell the truth. Ain't nobody kicking your ass. Ain't nobody taking you to jail. You are a grown man. You should be able to you should be able to go into the situation, stand strong, and tell her the truth. I think that I think what women get upset mostly about is the deception and the lies and things like that. I think that most of the time, a man that stands up for himself and completely able to say the truth, you either respect it or check it. That's how nature operates, in my opinion. But Mario, what you got?
Well, I'm gonna let Zay go before me, because I want to hear what you and Tootie, what Zay and Tootie got to say before I go. So
I'm gonna let go. Married.
Makes sense. I I think the first thing for me, I wanted to make sure is if that individual is going to be receptive to your child or your children, and vice versa. You got to make sure that your kids are going to be receptive to the individual that you're bringing in to y'all dwelling or y'all family. You know what I'm saying? That's very, very important. A lot of people have a disdain for kids or have a disdain for individuals. I'm going to speak from a guy standpoint. If a guy has, let's say, baby mother issue, that's a big turnoff for a lot of women. And, they may not want to engage your child because they don't want to engage that mother or father for if it's a man. You see what I'm saying? So that's very, very important. I think that's paramount. Another thing that I just wanted to touch base on is, for me, one of the essential things is going to be that person's heart. Are they a caring individual? Are they a person of understanding? Because that's big for me. You know what I'm saying? Uh, a lot of the stuff that we talk about on here is things that we can attest to. We've learned after the age of 30. So we are kind of walking on eggshells as far as finding ourselves as men as it comes to dating, because we've been immature with dating for a lot of years, and that's just keeping it real. The third, I'm gonna say good teeth and feet. I got good teeth, my feet, baby. I got man feet. I work. So both of us can't be out here lacking. I just mean.
Oh, wait a minute. You know
got
what? We did say two. We did say three. My bad. Okay, my bad. I just did one. I'm sorry about that. So my second one, I would have to say hyper femininity. You want a woman with hyper feminine energy. Everything. Listen to me. Everything is better with a woman, with a hyper feminine woman. The sex is better. The conversation is better. The arguments are less, because you and your masculine is a balance. She's feminine. You and your masculine. Everything is better with a feminine woman. So you want to go with a hyper feminine woman. You don't need to be dealing with Bonquisha that got all that mouth and want to run her mouth and say everything when she get mad. That goes back to emotional intelligence. And lastly, I would like to say, I suggest you get a woman with a higher sex drive than you, because if it's nothing else in the world, it's better than when a woman asks you for sex. And if you never experienced that, if you ain't never got that text message saying I'm either gonna bring it or you can come get it, then fellas, you have not lived until a woman offer it to you. So, and then, because if you're going to get in a relationship with her, chances are great her sex drive is going to go down. So if it's here and it starts to go down, it's either going to meet you here, right at the same rate, or slightly lower. And that, anything in this area, you good. Mario, what you got?
Well, I'm gonna let Horace. Horace, go ahead.
Well, thank you, Mario. I'm gonna go and be textbook today. I'm gonna say communication is key. Communication is key, but so is comprehension. See, communication is big, but can you comprehend what I'm saying? You know, what I'm bringing to you, what you gonna do with it? Because a lot of people communicate, two people communicate, and they just can't get it together. They can't get on one accord. That's a big thing. I want to say they got a life plan. There's a lot of people there's a lot of people that are living week to week. So I want to meet, you should look to see what kind of plan, even if they barely, check the check now, do they have a plan to elevate themselves? Because if they don't, that person that you might fall in love with or fall in love with the peanut butter and jelly sandwich down there might become a liability, right? And third, how does she handle spirituality? All too often, a lot of women are saying that Jesus are their husband. Run from them women, fellas, because Jesus is your brother. He's the Son of God. Okay, run from those women, because a lot of people have taken religion, and you have people that hide inside religion. So old man used to say, some people, how did he say it? Some people head are in the clouds where they ain't no earthly good. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of people that be in the church. They used to tell you to go to church to get you a woman. Now I done found the devil there a lot. So that's the things you look for: is communication, comprehension, how do they handle their spirituality, and they should have a life plan of some sort. You got to have a life plan, because, to be honest, life is only getting harder. And if you have a child with this is a person that, while you out there hunting like Mario and holding the family down. This is the person that's putting the input and raising your kid. Sorry about that ramble, but Super Mario, bring me home.
Well, okay, so all those good. And I want to hear what y'all guys say because that's interesting to see what y'all looking for in a woman. What might take us to our last segment. Just stay tuned. But first thing I think you got to have is you got to know, you got to see if they have purpose, and then you got to see if their purpose align with yours. Because a person who understands their purpose and they know it and they can actually tell it to you, and if you know yours, which I suggest everybody know before they go into a relationship, and because if y'all purpose align, then y'all might be on the right track. And I think that's when you get to the point of when everybody used the example of finding your real or finding your helpmate. Because I believe that once you find a woman with the same purpose and align with y'all, then y'all gonna be on the right street together, and then y'all gonna have a goals, and y'all a life will align. So I think you need to always find a person who knows their purpose and make sure that purpose aligns with you. The second thing, I think you got to ask a woman, what's a woman's role in a relationship? How does that look to them? Because a lot of times as men, we have set in our head what we want our wife to look like, or what we think a woman should do in our life, or what she should bring to our life. And a lot of times it's not always about are you not for me or are you not for me? It's by expectations. So if our expectations don't align, then we're gonna be messed up. If she feel like a woman's supposed to do A, B, and C, but you think it's supposed to do D, E, and F, and you can't compromise because y'all too far apart on what y'all expect and what she thinks she should do and what you expect her to do, and then that's when compromising don't work. Because I seen a thing that they said when somebody's compromising too much, the compromising don't work because you're gonna feel used. So I feel like you should want somebody who wants to willingly play the role that you want to receive in a relationship. And that goes for women and men. I believe if you should fit their mold and they should fit yours. Because if not, it's going to be tough sledding trying to make somebody into something that you want. I don't think that can happen. And then the third thing I think is more important is you got to understand about children, and it's a two, and finance. If you don't have the right idea on how to raise children, if you want children, where in your life count does children come? Like mine is God, wife, then my child. Like, but some people is child, wife, then God, and some people, you know what I'm saying? So you got to make sure your child is in the right place in that, because if not, then you will run into a whole bunch of problems. And then finance. Oh my God. I know this is, you said three, but finance matters because I believe that most relationships nowadays break up because of finance. And I don't think it's because of lack of money. I think it's a lack of understanding of money. Because once again, everybody's rich is not everybody's rich. To some people, having a successful job in the house and being able to go to the mall every weekend, they content with life. To some people, they want multiple dream houses, they want trips and everything like that. So then you get to a point of how you spend money, how you want money, how you save money, investments. Because if you don't want all this stuff, it's going to be hard to convince somebody to save for some stuff that they feel like they don't need, they have no need for, or they don't want. So always, when you're talking about goals, talking about how you spend money, how you want to save money, and what you want from money. Because some people don't value money. And if you're a person who value money and you get with somebody who don't value money, doesn't matter if they make a lot or not. It's going to be a big constant argument on how you get to the point A to point B, because y'all going to have different strategies on just budgeting money. Horace?
Yeah, well, let me ask you something. Let me go back to something, because you're married and nobody else married on the panel right now, all right? So right we technically married through you, all right? So
they keep it at your house.
Yeah. That's what we're doing, right? So someone said being equally yoked was good. Dr. Hughes from Black Ass Conversation, we see you. Thank you for tuning in. She was saying that seeing a financial advisor together would be great. It would.
Lee said that.
Yeah, definitely Zion.
Well, a lot of times people will hide their debt, and then you can marry into debt easily. So that happens. So to the fellas, so I'm gonna have to word this a little different since y'all ain't married. What should y'all be looking for? What are y'all looking for? What do you think you need to have a successful marriage? I'm gonna go to the latest man first.
I was looking in the comments. I saw where one person said equally yoked, and I almost want to say I feel you on that, but I think that's too cliche just because it's too broad, and enough people haven't done enough research, like Mario was saying, to see if you're even equally yoked. Have you asked that individual how they grew up? Was it a two-parent home, or just some of the things? Because a lot of people are built off of survivorship, and they don't have the love that's needed for
Hmm.
a life to sustain. I'm the biggest one when it comes to this. I always say this. I'm big on understanding. I think that I'm a pretty intelligent guy, but I don't know everything. So the way I feel about something, you may feel totally different. And I'm always open to that conversation. Doesn't mean that I'm trying to shift you which way, my way or another way, but I definitely want you to see it the way that I see it so that you can understand me as a person first before we go forward with anything that we're going to do, whether it be friendship, whether it be relationship, and ultimately marriage. So now, for me, what I'm looking for is, again, I got to lean on my brother Kevin. Kevin said to me some of the most profound things. He said, when I picked my wife, I thought about how she thinks about me or how she treats me when she's upset with me. That's huge, especially in today's day and age where relationships are a disposable thing, if I say that correctly. We just had a conversation about Cardi and Offset, and not to bring that up, but they flaunt their marriage back and forth. I don't want to play like that. If I get married, I'm married. If we have a problem, we're going to work it out. And I'm one of those individuals. Don't do the social media thing to me. We will never ever get anywhere like that. Our marriage is not on the forefront like that. It's inside our home. So I'm gonna need a person that's gonna be able to do that and keep it within inside, even when everything is not on the up and up. On the outside, gonna think it is until we get it fixed, and it's really none of that business any damn way, if you ask me. But those are some of the things that I'm looking for: a caring heart, an individual that's all about understanding, who not doesn't really care about who's right or who's wrong, but making sure that they understand the individual that they choose to stay with for the rest of their life. If not, what was the point of getting married? We could have kept dating. But that's just me, and that's my opinion. What you think about it, too?
Well, no, no, no. Before we go to that, I meant to ask y'all: do y'all want to get married?
Um, if I could go on, I don't think there's a person on the planet Earth that wants to die alone. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I think everyone ultimately wants to get married, whether they say so or not. If they didn't, I don't think that they would be messing with the opposite sex.
No, I'm saying I think see down alone and being married
Hmm.
things. I know a friend of mine, grandparents was together for 40 years and never married. So I want to know, do you want to get married?
And I'm going to say yes. Ultimately, yes. So
Okay,
that we answer that question.
go ahead, Chris.
Chris.
Well, for me, it's a complex question for me. I haven't seen enough marriage. I don't know enough research on marriage, and then the question saying, "What are you looking? What were you looking for?" and stuff like that. I personally don't want to know what I'm looking for. I want to experience what I'm looking for. Every situation I've ever been in that I personally invested time and a lot of energy and or love or either wanted to be in a relationship. I never went into any situation wanting to be in a relationship. I went into a situation, met a person, and that whatever feeling that they gave me made me want to go further. So I think when I believe that's for me when you paint the picture already and you got it all sketched out, and all you need is someone to come along and you done picked out the colors, and all you needed them to do is draw in the lines. I don't think that's fair for them. What I want to do is meet somebody and say, I don't already know what I want. I just know that whatever you doing, that's what I want. You know what I'm saying? I want to actually feel it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I know it's hard to explain to me, and it's hard for me to explain, and that's why I don't want to explain. I want to meet somebody and say, there's something about this woman that makes me want to take it to this whole another level. As far as we're talking about marriage, I don't know enough. I don't shoot. I only have a couple of favorite married people. Mario, you one of them. My uncle's one of them.
Appreciate it.
So I don't know a lot. I don't know a lot about marriage. I don't have a lot of conversations with married men, so I don't know how to even bottle or define marriage for myself. So to say that I just want to do it, no. What I want to do is find someone that makes me want to experience that with her. I want to find someone that makes me want to, or give me some kind of feeling inside of me, because that's how I operate. I can only go off of things that move me, not off of things that I done planned out and all this other crap, because that's not how life is for me. You know what I'm saying? I want to actually, in my soul, feel someone give me that type of impact that makes me want to move forward. So I don't know if that answers the question, but that's really how I feel. And when I try to articulate that to potential situations I've been in, it's kind of hard to understand, but I can only tell you the truth that I want to feel it. You may have yours already set out. She got to make this. She got to look like that. She got to be this religion. And I don't want that. I want to meet somebody and say, whatever it is you're doing, that's what I want to. That's what I want to invest time in. That's what I want to invest.
So do you believe that you're gonna bring? I'm sorry. Do you believe that you're gonna bring
dynamic?
Yeah, to it? So what if you meet somebody, right? Mm-hmm. And they make you fall in love, and they make you feel all of this. Yeah. But in their head, they have a life already planned out. So are you saying
that's
right? But I'm saying right. But I'm saying
that's what you want, though.
In the initial dating stage, you might not know that's already there because they might have withheld that from you. But actually, y'all click, y'all do, y'all flow, everything go. But then when you get to a marriage, you wrapped up into her and into your emotion. But all the time you might be knowing that she already has a plan and you fit her mode. So my question would be, how do you combat walking into her mode until y'all creating your own mode?
Well, me personally, I don't meet many women that just want to smash and run. You know what I'm saying? I don't meet them. Most of the women that I meet are already thinking that way. It's me the one that has to have the convincing, and I don't feel bad about that. So I normally meet women, after a couple of dating, after a couple of months of dating, maybe even shorter, they already wants to start talking like that. And initial conversations are about dating with a purpose or whatever. So that part never fears me. I don't ever have fear for that. What I'm saying is when you have, if you want me to have those conversations with you, I'm fine with that, and I don't have no problem with that. But you're gonna have to have these conversations with me. I'm gonna have to tell you why I may be reprehensive about certain things. I'm gonna have to tell you why my views on marriage in this particular way. And we got to have honest conversation. And you got to give me the courtesy to be truthful with you as I'm letting you be truthful with me. I'm not taking nothing off the table, but at the same time, there's traumas and there's different episodes in my life that led me to feel certain ways. If you're not willing to be therapeutic to me where I can tell you these things and you just shut it off because I'm not giving you air candy, then I don't want to be bothered in the first place. So both of us have to have a dialogue about it.
So let me ask you: do you shy away from those questions then when they pop up?
No, I don't shy away from any questions.
Okay,
I feel like I've been in the game long enough to articulate however I feel, and I have a take it or leave it attitude anyway.
Makes sense. Okay, just wanted to know.
I agree. I just want to know. I just want to see, because that was interesting what you said and deep. I'm not a cut that you were saying that because I agree, and I felt like that feeling part until the point of I kind of had like a lot of stuff changed in my marriage when I got married until the picture I had in my head, right? But I was willing to change that and compromise because it was still for the greater good of us. And the us I like us becoming is what I would say is worth it to me. And I think
that compromise wasn't you forcing yourself. You was already in the transition, and then you seen someone that added on to that transition and made it a smooth process. It wasn't like you was fighting your way into it. You know what I'm saying? You as much as you was a player growing up, you was a lover too. You know what I'm saying? You was equally balanced in that. So it just took the right mixture of things and time and situations that come along. You know what I'm saying? I remember times where we had conversations about getting married. And was like, no, you know what I'm saying? But again, the right combinations of time and situations in life, it changes it. And someone was there. I believe that someone was patient enough with you to see you through that. But that's how I look at it. Tuda, what you got?
I think the original question I had to shift it because you guys are single. So Mario would be the only one that's going to answer the question how we originally had it. So asking myself that question that I asked you to, I would say I definitely want to get married. I definitely want to get married before the greatest show on earth got a fold of 10 up. Before I can no longer serve the greatest corn dog on this side of the Mississippi. Um, but I definitely want love. I think different from me, I have since high school been in long term relationships, right? So 5, 9, 5, like that's my whole damn life. And I think the biggest lesson I've learned is, I mean, when you fall in love with somebody, a lot of times on both sides, we got baggage, we got trauma, you know what I mean, that we carry and don't even know we're carrying. So I want somebody that has definitely overcome their hurdles so they understand love. Because love is, we throw that word around, but I want love. I don't want survival. Oftentimes you'll see somebody together and they move on so quick because they was there for the necessities. I'm in a relationship, but he's taking care of me. So she might not love him per se, or vice versa. So I want love, not survival. I want legacy. What I mean by legacy, a lot of our grandparents and aunts, they were together a long time, and a lot of lineage came from those relationships. So I want a legacy. I want somebody that at the end, our seeds can say, this is what my dad, this is what my
Right.
grandma, that's what they put together. You know what I mean? Something that I came from, that kind of story. And I think I just want somebody that might have been a veteran, that have been through some things. Because my problem is the 0 to 60 people. Right now, it's the fourth quarter for a lot of single people. And when I meet people, the person, if there's one person, both of us dating, she might smash this dude who she has no expectations from, right? But she see me and want to take me on the long walk around the house because she see me as husband material. No, don't shortchange me. Um,
You know
Okay,
what,
what
too?
is that not a
Too.
compliment though? Is that not a compliment that someone sees you that way?
no,
It's a
absolutely,
backhanded compliment, Chris. Come on, man.
yeah,
Okay, okay.
Ah, ah.
yeah. I got to put the quarter in the little the ride that's faulty. No, man, let me ride the horse too. That's
Hey,
where I'm at. I've been married.
hey, you know what? I want to hit on
Longer
something,
term
my good
relationship.
Eric.
I've never been able to
Yeah.
have a dating era. So I would love to get married now. I would love, but I wanted to date, have that love affair, because when you get in a relationship, those are the times that you have to sometimes focus on when the times get hard. Those moments when y'all was on cloud nine and in love and all of that, you need something that you can really grasp
There
upon
we go.
before
Yeah,
on those hard
So,
times.
yeah. I think
too.
that. Okay, go ahead.
I was gonna say I was just gonna hit on the little piece that Eric had said. Eric's one of our lost brothers too. But Eric said a real piece. He said a lot of people want the wedding and don't want the marriage. And we've had this conversation amongst ourselves where a lot of people are you happy to be married or are you happily married? You feel me? Well, a lot of
Mm.
people are in it, like you said, too, that survivorship. I'm married, look at me, this, that, and the other. But then when they get down to the nitty gritty of what a marriage is, them tough moments, they can't tough it out and they ready to pop the parachute and haul ass. And that I don't think any of us want. You feel me? So that has to be something that comes to the forefront too. What are you marrying for? And why do you want me at that point? Are you gonna be able to even stand me? Because a lot of us are not, I mean, it's not easy. It's not easy dealing with us. It's not easy dealing with a lot of people.
Yeah,
And that's all a part of marriage. That's the part that I see.
exactly. And because at the end of the day, man, look, I've been hanging and banging since I was 16 years old.
I
So
have not.
there's a
Put me on the
level
field.
of, huh?
I've
There's
been
a
on the fence. Put me on the
oh,
field.
okay. Well,
Throw me a
me
long
personally,
one.
well, I don't know. I had a similar when I in my early beginnings. Did a 5 year stretch, came up out of there, did my push-ups, came out there buff, did another 5 year stretch. And so at that point in time, I was so bad in that last relationship that I said, you know what, I want to spend. I said this facetiously, but it actually happened. I wanted to spend double the time that I was in that relationship single. And I was in that relationship 5 years, so I end up being single for a decade. Probably it's about 11 now. So
specific in your prayer.
But again, it's like I'm not an unhappy single person. I smile every day. I eat what I want. Pause. Well, no pause. But you know what I'm saying? I have a pretty good I'm not unhappy.
You
So what I want is
Amazing.
to meet somebody that makes me feel that same way. Like I get hyped for going out on this date. I get hyped for spending this weekend because I get hyped for going on a new date. You know what I'm saying? I get hyped for me having a conversation with a woman. I like having those conversations, and I like women energy. If I want somebody that makes me feel like, no, I like this woman energy. I like this date. I'm at work on Friday. I can't wait to get up off of here telling everybody, man, I'm finna go do my thing. You know what I'm saying? I want the same energy. I don't know why is that, hard to or much to ask for, but that's how I look at it.
Yeah, well, thanks a lot for that one. I'm living through y'all.
What? Oh,
Mario, bring us home because listen, one of the biggest lessons, and I don't think this has an age limit. I was in relationships for the person, not myself. You ever have somebody that they crazy about you, you're in a relationship, but you really ain't in a relationship with them? Don't ever do that in life. Even though Don Bishop Warren says, get the person that's crazy about you, right? That's what he said. But that's a catch to that. So before I go to the Mario, here's a question. Here's a big question to ask. What's your fantasy versus your really? We'll come back to that. Mario.
Reality? Not your really? Okay.
Well, listen, I'm far back from the screen.
Okay, it's all good.
Doogie Howser.
No problem. It's just you got 4 eyes, so I would think you
That's my big glasses you got too.
I know he's a little stylish. You know what I'm saying? I'm now sponsoring people. I mean, people you can sponsor me, wear your glasses and everything like that. You Spec King.
Oh boy,
Mario.
Hey, say the question one more time so everybody can get back on track.
No, because your question is different. You married. Right? We put your gold jacket on. So, what should a man or woman look for when seeking a mate for a successful marriage?
Well, I think that depends on what you really want. Yeah, because we can sit here and we can be cliche and say you should look for this, you should look for that, or you should look for this. But when it all boils down to it, you should look for somebody that you never want to give up on. And and hopefully, if God bless you, you will find somebody that never want to give up on you. I think at the end of the day, if those two things coexist in the same two people who stand at the altar and say we're married, and I think y'all in for the long haul. A lot of time in my life, I kind of had a picture before I got married. I want marriage because it sounded good, and it seemed good because I didn't come from a marriage. My mom wasn't married to my dad. But I seen other people from the outside looking at marriage like, dang, like I see my auntie and my uncle, and I seen them rich, I seen them bad, I seen them love, I seen them argue, but I seen them never give up on each other. And then I looked at my mom and I was like, damn, it hurt me as a little boy. I felt like, damn, my uncles are amazing men, and my mom don't got that. So growing up, I was like, well, when I get older, I'm gonna be somebody amazing man. So my mom can know that her purpose in life was that even though she might not have obtained it in life, that she raised a man who went out, found a woman, and was an amazing man. And another woman in this world would never have to feel like my mom. So that's what I felt in my back of my head. Then I got older, and then I started saying, it's a lot of women out here. It's a lot of beautiful women out here, all shapes and sizes. And I have to be one of those people like Chris named that I like dating. I like women. I can find something beautiful in every woman I meet, from my head to a toe. And I indulge in women. I like conversation. I like all the stuff that they say men don't do. That is me. But I also don't play. And I don't lie. And I don't do a lot of that other stuff because I feel like Chris until I don't have to. Because I do have a brain in my head to understand it's a lot of women. So then I understood that a lot of women like this. So I said, the man that a lot of women like, I could become that. So I got in the gym. I got smarter. I got about my finances. So I became the top of echelon, I feel, of man that a lot of women want. So then I said, you know what that allows me to do? Pick the woman I want and get to a place in my life where I never have to settle. I don't need you for your money. I don't need you for your sex. I don't need you for nothing. So the only reason I'm going to marry a woman Because I'm gonna know in my heart it's gonna be because I'm totally into you, and I feel like you fit my purpose in my life, and you somehow convince me that you will never give up on me. And now I know that you are willing to receive love. So now I can fulfill my dream, and now I can be the best man in the world to you because I know that you are gonna try your best to be the best woman to me. And that don't entail always agreeing with me, always being happy,
Mm-hmm.
but I just never want you to give up on me. And I feel like in life, if we kind of just find somebody in this so much world of finessing and turmoil and hate, if somebody would just never give up on you, then I believe that y'all can get through so much stuff because it's too easy to walk away now. And that's with anything. That's with business, friendships, and these people know that I preach this. If we have a quarrel amongst brothers, good friends are hard to find. We got to get to the bottom of this because those are relationships I believe that you just didn't by chance bump into. God wanted y'all together. So, and that's what ties me into my purpose. And I didn't understand that when I first started looking for a wife. But as I began to say, you know what, I'm ready for a wife, and I began to meet my wife, I think I experienced what Chris was saying. I just wanted to become one with her. Like the stuff that I used to thought was goofy, when I did it with her, it felt better. The stuff that I thought was stupid, it felt better. The stuff that I used to love to do, I kind of didn't want to do it as much because I didn't want to do it. Not she was
By choice, right?
I didn't want to do it. And I think even on her end, she'll tell you right now, we had this conversation like, damn, it's kind of crazy because we like to do a lot of stuff now. But that's because I believe that we're equally yoked. I believe we became that because we actually was vulnerable and surrendered to each other and actually made a vow, not to anybody else, but to ourselves in front of God that we won't give up on each other. And I think if people go into marriage looking at that right there, then I believe that we'll have more successful marriages. Not for the money, not for the clout, not for the fame, but for each other. I told y'all this. We flew all the way to St. Martin. I'm going to leave this long. We flew all the way to St. Martin. And I appreciate it because I know some people sacrificed and gave their last to be there. And they did. And I love y'all for that. But I told y'all, like, all y'all stayed in y'all room and never showed up to my wedding. And she was there, I was fulfilled. Because that's what I came for. I'm happy y'all came to enjoy it with me, but I came to start my next step in my life with her. Because that's where this whole union began, with us, with the person who I know would never give up on me. So I think if you look for that, then you will get to a place of completeness, happiness. And I believe that feeling that Chris was talking about, that's why I wanted to understand what he was saying. Because what he's explaining, I feel daily. I just feel like I just want to be there. I feel like I just want to be with you. I feel like I don't want to do those things anymore. You don't have to check me on that because I'm a grown ass man. You're not going to check me on it. So until I get to a place, I feel, Chris, until you get to a place where you feel like I wake up in the morning and I want to do this, even when I'm mad at you, then I believe that's when you get to a place of I want to be married to a man who was out here. That's what I got.
Well, I tell you what, I want to go to a comment. Latanya Hughes in our comments from Black Ass Conversations, she made a comment saying, listen, date yourself and know what you like and expect so you can attract and vibe with that. Dr. Hughes, I'm going to tell you something. Date yourself means something different to a single man at times.
Wacky Wednesday.
Wacky Wednesday is a heck of a Wednesday.
But okay, on the serious though, I want to say, because Hardy said something about, his focal point was seeing his mother unmarried, right? And that was the driving motivation. Now, I'm going to be personal here and transparent because I've never said this publicly, but it was actually the opposite for me because I seen my mother married, but I seen my mother cheat. I witnessed it. I witnessed it myself, and it's always been something that stuck in the back of my head. And so when I think it always impaired sometimes that connection when it comes to women. It gives me a fear of it because I witnessed that, and I never honestly to this day, and you guys been knowing me for years, I never even said that. And my mom was passed now, so it's a little different, but that always stuck with me. So it makes it hard for me to honestly to trust. It makes it hard for me to emotionally connect because I done found women that I truly admire. I done had women that I love, but that emotional connection has always came hard for me because I always look at them like, I've seen
when it's coming.
too much. I've seen I've seen the dark side of women. I've seen the deception sometimes, and I'm not trying to
I'm gonna ask this,
bash women because that's not my thing. But at the same time, I've seen this.
and
Great, Mario.
that's a you go ahead, Judy.
No, yeah, I want to say something to Chris. I think a lot of good has came from this show. You know, when we first started the show, we were joking, and I had some arrogant moments where I was telling Chris and the cast, you know, I was like, hey, every relationship I was in, I left the person. You know what I mean? And then going through off session therapy, I was like, you know, one of the people that I left them because maybe it was trauma, but I left them because I left them when things got bad and I think it was going to go sour. I left them before they left me. So, and I don't know how to explain it if I explain that right. So, but just like Chris was vulnerable, you grow and evolve, but being able to recognize those things are the things that we have to analyze. We have to, you know, go through that process because I mean, I love the person, but things were just so out of whack that I couldn't even fix it till I was like, I'm out because eventually she's gonna leave me. So what's gonna hurt more? You
Right.
know, me leaving or her leaving. So sorry about that, Mario.
No, I was gonna say that's a great thing because not as far as much as my mom, but I'm gonna say I had that a trauma part of me that I always felt like this. When I grew up, I wasn't in a lot of relationships, but I was the number two a lot. So I seen women who was swearing to the public up and down that they was in love,
Mm-hmm.
walking, holding hands.
Seen it.
Talking about they was couples goals and calling me soon as he leave. So then I was like, I kind of believed y'all was couples goals. Being real, it kind of traumatized me for a while. And I had to work through that because I felt like, damn, this man. I almost kind of the one girl I stopped talking to her because I felt like this man is doing everything he can for his family. I'm a knucklehead. I'm young, wild, don't have no purpose in my life. I bring no purpose to your life. You have two good kids by this man. This man, he wants to marry you. You keep saying no. This man kicking. You don't have, I'm like, God damn. So what can I do? If I get better in life, and this happened to me after I gave up all this, I worked, I did the work, I did this, so I used to be scared of that too. And then I had to understand that. And I used to be like, yeah, because if a woman cheat on me, I'm gone. And then I got to a place of understanding that, bro, it's so much deeper than the infidelity. Because right now, I can care less or worry about it. I'm not gonna say care less. Oh, that's a bad choice of words. I care if my wife cheat. But that's the last word. Because I think that when you get to some point in your life, you get to a point of like I know that what I'm doing for us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Me and Chris talk about this a lot. Like, every day I try to be the best husband I can. Like, I honestly believe all three of y'all are great men inside and out. And that's why every time a woman comes to me and say, I don't know no good men out here, it eats me up because I know a lot. I know a lot of men, but I know a lot of men that are great men that take a little bit of patience. They take a little bit of mercy. They take a little extra love. They take a little stuff that you're going to have to work for. Just like that hard job. Anybody can't get that job that pay $100-some thousand a year. It's not for everybody. But once you get it, it pays in full. And I think in Chris' position right now, as he worked through that, and I can't wait to get to the day when I'm at all y'all wedding and I see y'all going and feeling the same thing I feel right now. Because it's going to be a joyous day. That's all I want.
Hey, let me ask this question, Mario, and I want Chris to chime in. Amber said, I think the relationships we saw growing up is a huge part of our relationship now. So does that speak to the trauma? Is that what shapes our blueprint, or is that what shapes our definition of, you know, so if love it does shape our definition of love and et cetera. Dr. Hughes, you too. But what do y'all think about that comment?
I think that's spot on. Like I said previously, driving home with my stepdaddy and catching my mom cheating in the house, that affected me.
Your mom?
That's what that was the whole.
Yeah, he definitely did
that.
I missed it too.
But not only that, when we was at Kennedy, and we are in love with these girls. I mean, in love with them. But when that bell rings, they're jumping in that Chevy and driving off with guys that's older than us and we can't even compete with.
And
You know what I'm
nobody
saying?
talks about that. Those are R. Kelly moments. Go ahead.
Yeah, and things
Oh
like
my
this, and
God.
a lot of those things affect. A lot of those things affect us. Like what Hardy say, man. I've been a number 2, 3 at times, but at the same time, like you see that a woman can sit there and will smile in this man's face and do all types of stuff behind his back. So when you see stuff like that, you're like, wait a minute. I don't know. I don't want nothing like that. How can I completely trust you? Because at the end of the day, I'm a father now. I'm a grown ass man. I'm a father. I got to work. I got to run a business. I have to do a podcast. I can't let my daughter see me upset or in tears about a woman, about a female. I can't. I don't have. I can't. I'm her superhero. So what happens if I'm sitting in the house soaking and down and depressed by the female? I still got to go to work tomorrow. I still got to run a business. I still got to come on here every Monday and deliver. I can't risk being
Much at
messed up
stake.
behind a female. I just can't do that. It's too risky for me. So I need to find something that's low risk, high reward. That's how I look at that.
Hey, so can I say this before? And, this off topic, but every one of y'all got a story, right? Where you guys, I'll call it chosen. Y'all have dated girls, whether you call the backdoor daddy or you the side dude. Y'all ain't side dudes. I don't like that term, but who have been in a relationship, like Mario said, in love. All of us have been in those situations, right?
Right.
And been the other dude, like you said. I dated someone who had a guy that was phenomenal. He worked 2 jobs, bought her a car. She lived the best life, and all she did was cheat on him. And I had to convict myself one day, like I'm part of the problem. You know what I mean? So, and that did shape my outlook on people. What me and Zay used to always say, like, you can't be mad at the game. If it happened to me, I was always say, if my girl cheated, it's part of the game. I've been on the other side of it. Chris, you say like
But
you ain't.
why do you feel like you're the problem though? In a situation in our life, it takes us to bump our head for us to learn, and that's in every other aspect in life. Why do we feel like?
But see,
you
I
the
don't think we the
problem?
problem. I don't think we the problem, but I do understand that. How could I require mercy, forgiveness, and grace if I'm not willing to give it? And I know that sounds cliche, but we human. So I can't expect for my wife to be a robot and for me to ask for her for forgiveness. It don't have to be, I could be just a knucklehead and overspend or make a badass business decision that put us in the rut. And I'm gonna need her forgiveness to walk through this with me and to help me dig us out this hole. Or God forbid, but if I be cheat or do something stupid like that, then I would want her to not just walk out the door and turn her back on me. So even though I understand the hurt from it, that's why I try my best to walk that road. I understand that we still human. And then I have to weigh up, like you said, the cost of, is it worth me losing all of this? Because as a human being, she honestly made a mistake. I'm not talking about an ongoing. I'm talking about, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mistake.
bro, that word, grace, mercy, and forgiveness, I think in the human race right now, that's needed on every
Obsolete.
front. It's not being exercised right now. And I think that's why we in so much debacle as a human race right now, because I don't think that we use that, because right now we expect people to be almost perfect. And I ain't saying Chris expect this, I'm just talking about in general, that we expect people to be perfect once you say yes. Like your intent, I know I intend to do a lot of stuff every day, and half of the stuff I do. But my intent was to do this. I intended, and I worked, and I thought in my head, I'm gonna do this. And I get out there and don't do that. So if I fail myself daily, I fail myself. How could I think that somebody else won't fail me and put that kind of pressure on them? And I think when I start looking at life like that, like, I'm not giving you no pass for cheating. I'm not saying there's not gonna be repercussions from it, but I'm saying that if you do, I'm not shutting the door and walking away, because love is forgiving. Love is patient. Love is kind of like, love is a whole bunch of other stuff except besides that feeling of enjoyment. And that's all I'm saying.
But see, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying is I completely understand what you're saying on that one.
Right.
My whole thing is this: long as when we was talking about cheating, when it was conversations come up, when we seen it on TV, when we seen it on shows, you showed understanding then, you showed mercy then. But then if you go ahead and do it, I'm more pissed off about the deception. I think that all the way around the board with men and women, it's the deception of men. When a man deceives a woman, as far as cheating, she's looking at it like you can't even, you're not even strong enough to stand up to me to tell me what's going on. So automatically they look at you as a weaker man simply because you don't even have the nuts to tell her that this is what's going on. This is how I feel, and this is what I did. Now you ducking and hiding after you get caught. You're lying. You're compounding lies and stuff like that. I think that the deception of it, and the same thing with men. Like I said, if a woman is sitting there constantly berating cheaters, and then end up as a cheater, then I can't respect it. I can't forgive you for that.
I think it hurt more. I agree with you. You had said that one time we was talking that it's kind of like it hurt more, or it's kind of it throw you off more, because you're right. Most women stand on the premises that they want to be monogamous. Not like that's what they go into. I want to be monogamous. I only want you. I only want to have sex with you, and I would not tolerate cheating. Don't play with me. That would be their stance. Most women, not all women. Don't kill me. Not all, but most. So when you go into a relationship knowing that's your bottom line, that's one of your non-negotiables, and then you do it, it's almost like, come on, man.
Come on, man.
That's the game.
I don't care what I did at that point. I honestly don't care what I did, because you said that you wasn't that.
And you said that you had it down. Like you said that you got it. I'm telling you, I'm trying to work on being this guy. Yeah. You telling me this who you are. You got it. So when you fuck up and don't God forbid it be before me, I'm like, well, I'll be damned.
Yeah. Because I ain't never wore a shirt of I'm super faithful. I'm gonna tell you that this is how I've been my whole life. This is what I've dealt with. This is what I've done. This is me. I'm not saying that this is what I'm gonna do with you, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I've always struggled with monogamy. So that's what goes back to what I'm saying in these early conversations. Is this going to be a cancellation conversation, or are we going to have a conversation? Are we going to actually talk about this? Because a lot of times, what I've seen with men and women is we go into a situation being open and honest, but she didn't tell you about them closets. I mean, them skeletons in that closet.
And I think that's the double standard that don't get talked about. Not to cut you out, Chris. That a lot of times women go into situations knowing that they're not perfect, but then they require you to give up. They know, okay, to be with me, I know you've been out here rumbling in the streets. Let it go. Nah.
How about this one? So
but you're not ready to let it go.
I was about to say, so the thing too, in what you're saying, Chris, when you get a woman and you're doing all those things, like you said, those are foreign things to us. Monogamy, we didn't understand nothing about that. Ain't nobody teach us crap about that. They said it, we weren't listening, because all the people that we looked up to wasn't doing that. And we looked at them as successful, right? So we can agree on that. So I think for a lot of women, they put forth their demands, we're gonna say, right? And they don't think that man is struggling or working to get through.
Hey,
be able to do the things that she's expecting of them. They don't have that clause, or they don't have that definition of be patient with that guy. He's trying, or whatever the case may be. It's kind of, he's not doing what I need of him, and that don't work. That's no good.
Okay, this question.
Go ahead. Okay. Chris.
So if a woman says she struggles with monogamy from the start, does she still get a second chance? Me personally, no. I'm not giving you a second chance. I believe that you have to. From all I've seen from the beginning is, if we start, I say like this: if we start off having those conversations, then there's going to be a period before we even get into anything serious. Because you just told me that you struggle in this thing. I'm not saying as a person you're some kind of bank robber or murderer or something like that. You just struggle with monogamy. So you're saying
you're not going to require for her to attempt to promise you something that she's struggling with outward. That's what you're saying. Okay.
And in return, I'm not going to give you to be my rep. I'm not going to give you something to be my representation. You're not going to get me being able to plaster me over all your social media networks
Right.
and represent me. No, we're
That's
gonna have a we're gonna date. We're gonna actually date and see if monogamy is what it is for us, because that doesn't make you a bad person. Here's the thing: they make statues of men that wasn't monogamous, that was adulterous. I'm not going to say names, but they make statues and give holidays for some men. So it doesn't mean that you some kind of devil because you struggle with this. This is a conversation that two grown ass people should be able to have. Now we may not need to go into this pseudo relationship what people say, but we may need to take our time and talk about this and actually go through this, because at the end of the day, I don't want you faithful because of your moral compass. I want you faithful because I'm the only person that you want to sleep with, not simply because of what TD Jakes told you. I want it because it's me.
I got a question to ask on that for that too. Cause see, I think that right there, she almost kind of giving the way that most men feel, and that's what you said from the beginning. A lot of men feel scared. Like, if I answer this truthfully, will it not give me a true shot at her falling in love with me? And by her saying, well, will I get a true shot if I tell you that? So I think women do that a lot. Women put their representative out there and push it forward in your face. And they don't relieve or reveal, that's the word, reveal that I'm struggling with this, and this, and this. But they know this is the painted picture of the man I want. So I know he normally likes this kind of woman. So this is what I'm going to represent. I don't bring my baggage to let you know. But if you tell me any inkling of a baggage you got and I don't like it, I shun you. If I come to you right now, a woman could be struggling with 3 things, and a man walk up and say, well, you know, I want to have sex. What? How dare you try? Now you the worst cast, throw the strong, lock the door, lock him up. But do you know it might not be sexual, but you're struggling with other stuff you know he's not going to be too fond of it, on the other hand. So I think that this happens on both sides, but I think that a man most times don't require you to lie to him to be in some form of relationship with him. Like Chris said, I believe if you say that, a man going to just say, let's take it slow and see where this goes. Not say, well, you got a problem being a hoe. Well, you got to work on that because I want a relationship.
I don't know if this proves a point. If this helps anybody points. Before I got married, I was engaged to somebody else, right? Well, I was engaged before I got married, but
I'm going to say, whoa.
Listen, yeah. But my point was, now I think it's all about when that honesty is presented, because you put all your cards on the table, like y'all saying, we can find out how we're gonna navigate. The person I was engaged to, the relationship was amazing. They just didn't like Florida, but they came their comfort level, and they almost gave it like, hey, take it or leave it. This who they shared in the story, an experience they had, a sexual experience they had. Now, if I would have found that out into the relationship, I would be like, it would have subconsciously threw me off.
You talking about
but
a train?
When we initially had a conversation, what'd you say, Chris?
You talking about a train?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't a train, but it was more than one. But hey, when they were younger, they had it. So I got to see, is this something that you did before? Were you drunk, or this something that time to time you know that you're gonna get more bang for your buck? So this something time to time you like to go check out.
But that's the thing,
But them the questions you gotta have. Let me know up front what's inside your engine. What every now and then you need to check out and go and get the cue dolls to do a stump. You need to know those things.
But let me say, can I say one thing? Then I'm gonna leave this alone. Kiana said one more thing, and she was saying that she don't believe most men are forgiven. Let me tell you something. This is real, and women might not want to believe this. Do you understand the average man that gets cheated on in a marriage don't leave the first time? That's cap. That's a lie. That's a lie. Most men do not leave. The average man that gets cheated on and everybody finds out
is out.
Is the one that
pride is hurt.
So most men, wife could have cheated on them early in their relationship. They hurt, cried together. He was mad at her, and they stayed there. It's the man that finds out. So a lot of women cheat on a lot. I'm learning this now as I talk to more and more men who've been married about these. Like, what? I never knew, because a lot of women step out and cheat, but then you just never know. Because a man not going to, girl, hey, Tootie, guess what my wife did? They not gonna do that. because their pride gonna be involved. So a man gonna probably cry in solo or handle that in solo, and then try to see what he can do to fix his relationship. I'm noticing this a lot. A lot of men do not leave when they wife cheat on them. It's a lot of men leave when they wife cheat on them, and everybody knows.
Find out.
So understand that a lot of men are more merciful than they say or they claim to be in public. There's a lot of merciful men out here who leading with pride. Go ahead.
But that's the thing with that thought. If women actually feel that way, how can you honestly trust their feelings? I mean, their actions and what they say. If they think that we are unmerciful,
I agree.
Do you really think that they?
How do you want to be with that individual?
It's hard to think that they're going to tell you the truth. It's hard to think that anybody have your best interests in mind when they're telling you that you have to financially pay for me, take care of me, do this for me. That to me, it doesn't say, well, damn, this person is for me. This sounds like you're for you because of the rhetoric that you say. Right. That's what you require. You require all these things, and it makes me think that this is not about me. This is about your survival. This is about making sure that your life is at a certain standard. This has nothing to do with I see you, Chris, and I want to take you to this level. Because what we do is this. We simply say, okay, well, cool. I hear all that you're saying. I hear it. Some of us lie and say, yeah, man, I want a relationship too. Some of us say, we'll take it slow. But the whole time we're sitting back examining and watching to see if it's all talk. Because we've been in the game way too long to know if you can't bullshit us. There's not a lie a woman haven't told that I haven't heard. Period. So it's you can run that shit and you can say all this good stuff in the beginning, put all that lipstick on that pig, but I'm gonna see that pig and I can smell a hoe.
What she smell like?
Sweet cinnamon.
Man, tonight I really wanted to. We were supposed to go into another topic, but I think that's gonna have to be a whole nother show when we're dealing with ICE. First, two things. Today, 50 Cent endorsed Donald Trump. He said, talked about taxes. Ice Cube was vilified for his comments about him working with the Trump administration on the platinum plan. Ice Cube went back and did a rebuttal on CNN where he said he presented those plans to both parties. The Republican Party took interest and he went over there. Similar to what Chris said in our show, Chris, you made some valid points because we're not going to talk about it tonight, but you made valid points about when this plan was put over here, you wanted to see what the other party was going to counter with.
Use it as leverage.
And it feels like we're being insulted from both sides because you got Biden saying he's going to forgive student loan debt, and he's been in office 40-some years.
Yeah,
like they do that type of stuff. Everybody's just telling us anything, and the day we've been getting people to do early voting is record-breaking numbers per se. But again, as the black voters, as the people that spend $1 trillion, what's the plan? Like, after the election, why do we only have these conversations when the election's coming up? Why do the issues that we have never be discussed or worked on in between those 4 years? So I want to make sure we have a show ASAP, bring some other people on to talk about this election. And we want to talk about Ice Cube because we ain't going to have time. That'll be a whole nother hour. Yeah. And even in the comments, we are so emotionally attached. Chris, what was my quote the other week about the union plantation?
It's like we are two sets of slaves having a union meeting, the union dispute on a plantation.
Right. We're still on the plantation. So we got to bring that conversation back because we got to bring that conversation back.
Well, maybe we can have a black ass conversation with the Super Friends because it seemed like that's what we was doing tonight. Having a black ass conversation with the Super Friends.
Oh, you see
the whole squad here.
Ryan Lee, Jeffrey Leday, Dr. Hughes. Hey, that would be interesting. Well, they got one person that's strong on the other side, so I think it'll be a great show. I'm just saying we are too attached to these people. I say F them all, but everyone's gonna have their own personal take. Hey, Mario,
Yeah.
what's going on in Mario's corner before we dig out?
All right, so ladies, this kind of on our topic today. So I want to try to address a need I feel that I've been, or I'm gonna say this, try to fill a void for a lot of women out there. Just bear with me. So I hear this a lot, not from any particular women, but just a lot of women say, "Man, I can't find a good man." Or Mario, do you have any friends? And I always say, "Yeah." Do you have any single friends? Yeah. Are they good men? Well, I think so. As far as I know, on what I judge a man off of, but I just happen to be a man. So what do I know about being a man? Then I always go into what you want, what you like. So then it always go to the point of we start talking, and then I don't play matchmaker a lot because I feel like then you get held accountable for whatever decisions those two people make. But for the length of this show, I want to say this. I want to give a option to any women out there who are actually looking for a good man. I'm telling y'all this. I have 3 good eligible brothers on this show right here who have just showed you they're vulnerable, who just showed you they're willing to do the work, who have just showed you they are self-sufficient, hard men, and who are great fathers. So to me, it's like I have a whole bunch of women who are single. Then I have a whole bunch of men. Well, I have 3 men right here in my face that actually are willing to do the work. But then nobody says anything to anybody. So let's just take the elephant out of the room. And you don't have to go at them and say, "Hey, man." You don't have to go to them and say, "Hey, Chris. Hey, Horace. Hey, Zay. I like you." You don't. Let me be your walkthrough. Come through me. As Moses did the Red Sea. Come through me, and I promise you won't get swallowed up. So all you gotta do is hit my inbox, and then we're gonna set up a date, and then we're gonna let you get the experience of dating a good man in the 20th century. And I know a lot of you women out there can't say you have, because we've been falling short lately as men. I must say I'm a man, but I can guarantee you, with these 3 guys right here, you will have a quality date with quality conversation, no lies, no facade, and you're gonna get the real. And to me, all I've been hearing women tell me is they want the real. So I can guarantee that these men are going to give you who they really say they are. Now, it's up to you to like it. But if you have a want or need or any kind of, it's going to be kept between me. They won't even know how many women or whatever, because I'm going to do some screening to my discretion. Because like I said, these are my best friends. So just any Nicki Minaj or Tina Twirly top call me or go in my inbox and think I'm gonna pass your number. Great devastation and all kind of adulterous plays, but I'm trying to create black love. So if you got anything that you want to do pertaining to, I'm gonna say, if you have any wants that you might think can be fulfilled from these 3 brothers, hit my inbox and we're gonna set that up. Now, don't be bashful, ladies. You got all the stuff to say in the world. Now, choose you and yourself to be happy today. You can be happy right now. So after this show, if you're not happy, it's your fault. It's your fault. Go ahead, Tuesday.
I just want to give the disclaimer on behalf of my 2 single friends, natural born women. Please try.
We're checking birth certificates.
I will be happy. All kinds of
to see it. You got to see it nowadays, boy. Trying to tell you. Hey, close the comment for the date doctor who's changed the world tonight, man.
I don't know about all that, but we try to each one teach one. Now, fellas, we always try to spotlight black excellence and especially black male excellence. What I have right now is an example of that. This is my good homeboy, the Dr. D.T. Henry. He's a doctor in education. He just put out a book. It's called College Debunked: How to Get Your Kid on a Football Scholarship to College. Education is key for my people. Here's one of the keys that you need, and this is a major key. Dr. D.T. Henry, College Debunked. I also want to tell you about a good friend of mine that has a new single out called, his name is Jay Russ, and it's called The Negro Spiritual. You must listen to this song. It's soul music. It's soul music. And on the cover art has Marcus Garvey. And you gotta love that, who has my same exact birthday, August 17th.
Hey, Chris, I'm gonna get that book because my son that should be in the NFL right now decided to turn into a music star.
Yes.
So I like to tell Tyler, who doesn't know yet, I spent your college fund on my truck last week.
Shout out to Tag. Probably.
The ladies' man.
My brother. As always, I'm gonna say thank you guys coming out. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I think that we missed that last week. We wanted to highlight that for those who are survivors, for those who have family members who have survived or are deceased. We want to take this month to shed some light on that for you guys. And as always just say thank you. You guys can be doing anything tonight, watching football, kicking it with your family, even sleep, but you're listening to me and my closest friends have a dialogue. So for that, I do thank you. YouTube, Spotify, check us out, share one. We still do have the t-shirts for the ladies. We need you to share. And if you share and tag in 10 people, definitely hit one of our DMs or inboxes, and we'll be sure to get a t-shirt out.
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to the man up top,
Well,
Super Mario Senior.
I want to say thank y'all for tuning in another night because y'all could be a lot of places because we also know the America's team is playing right now, and I know y'all. It took y'all a while to peel off that TV to come to us. You know what I'm saying? The second time, don't such things in your life about the Dolphins. And the second thing is, like Jay said, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I've had a couple of good women in my life who I lost to breast cancer, so it's very dear to my heart. Henceforth the pink shirt I have on. But I want y'all to just take this serious, and if you could do anything, donate to any and women go get your boobies checked, please, because that's serious. And then it is affecting our black women. And once again, thank y'all for tuning in. And don't forget, Hardy's Corner, hit my inbox before you miss out. Go ahead.
I want to say something else. Just like we run the Gucci and we will trend on something. There's a new restaurant we run to it. There's some new shoes we run to it. Just like I do the Black Super Friends. If you do a podcast, you share us, we'll share you. I am really making an effort to build a network. You know what I mean? We're about to be a network. Congratulations, guys. But we really want to build one where everyone comes to this channel to see our shows. So you support us, we'll support you. I think that's big. Second of all, like I said before, I lost the love of my life to breast cancer. And all she ever wanted to do was live, and she lost her life to breast cancer. So just like Mario said, women go out there and get your mammograms, and people don't know this, but men can have breast cancer too. So you got mammograms, go out there and get your papillograms. So thank you for joining us on another occasion of the Black Super Friends. All you gotta do is hit Google and type in the Black Super Friends. You'll be amazed at what you see. So shout out to everyone that tuned in tonight. Hit the share button. Help us share it and do a watch party. But thank you. Shout out to Hughes, Jeffrey Leday, Ashanta Fudge, Kiana James, Lady Lee. Thank y'all for joining us tonight because this is one of the best, most impactful topics that we had in a while. And I thank you guys for joining us tonight. Monday Night Football. No, we talking about Monday Night Raw. So thank you.